The drama surrounding Andy Ruiz's rise in the heavyweight division is nothing short of cinematic. Standing tall yet carrying a physique that would make casual observers underestimate him, Ruiz has repeatedly defied conventional expectations, showing that sheer size does not dictate power or speed. From the very first bell of his early professional bouts, the contrast between perception and reality was stark. Opponents walked into the ring expecting to dominate a man they considered slow or cumbersome, only to find themselves caught in a storm of rapid-fire combinations delivered with surprising fluidity. His fists were not merely weapons. They were instruments of inevitability, each hook and uppercut building toward an outcome that seemed preordained. Even a glance at Ruiz's record reveals the story of a man who refuses to be categorized by the superficialities of appearance. By the time he faced Francisco Diaz at the Honda Center in Anaheim, California, Ruiz had already demonstrated his potential as a unified world heavyweight champion. Yet skepticism lingered around his ability to maintain his dominance against serious contenders. The opening exchanges of the fight were a revelation, with a left hook that initiated a chain reaction and a follow-up right that sent Diaz crashing to the canvas. Ruiz displayed a mastery of timing and explosive power that left no room for doubt. Every movement, every punch, was a calculated blend of instinct and precision. A reminder that his body, while unassuming to some, was a finely tuned instrument capable of generating destruction at will. Ruiz's performances in subsequent bouts reinforced this narrative of unstoppable momentum. Against Kelsey Arnold, the contrast between their physiques was striking, yet it was Ruiz's superior hand speed and strategic application of force that dictated the rhythm of the fight. He approached each round not as a simple exchange of blows, but as a meticulous dismantling of his opponent's defenses, combining jabs to the body with hooks and overhand rights that targeted openings before they could solidify. Arnold, despite his own size and reach, struggled to counter the relentless pressure Ruiz applied, culminating in a third-round stoppage that underscored the futility of resisting a fighter whose understanding of distance, timing, and power had few equals in the division. Observers watching Ruiz navigate the ring saw a heavyweight who combined textbook technique with instinctual aggression, using both to create a spectacle where dominance was obvious yet still awe-inspiring. In these moments, Ruiz was more than a boxer. He was a force of nature, overwhelming his adversaries not simply with strength, but with the unyielding precision and timing of an elite technician. Delivering a statement that extended beyond any single fight, the narrative of Ruiz's rise also highlights his psychological approach to combat. Opponents, such as Jonty Willis and Joe Hanks, attempted to play mind games, hoping to unsettle him before the first bell. They brought showmanship and bravado into the ring, underestimating Ruiz's capacity to absorb, adjust, and respond with a combination of technical skill and raw power. Against Willis, Ruiz's ability to control the center of the ring and punish openings was evident in the systematic accumulation of damage, swelling under the eye, bloody noses, and constant pressure that left his opponent scrambling for survival. By the time the fight ended, Willis was not only physically beaten, but mentally humbled, a testament to Ruiz's dominance that extended beyond the physical into the psychological realm of competition. In the case of Joe Hanks, Ruiz's discipline and experience allowed him to neutralize Hanks' early aggression, landing devastating punches that sent Hanks to the canvas multiple times, effectively dictating the pace and controlling the fight from start to finish. These bouts demonstrate a recurring theme in Ruiz's career: the ability to combine offensive output with ring IQ, understanding not only how to land punches, but how to orchestrate sequences that maximize damage while minimizing risk. Ruiz's encounters with fighters who attempted to test him physically, strategically, or psychologically consistently ended with similar results, though each fight offered its own drama. Against Tor Khmer, Ruiz's relentless pace and punch volume proved insurmountable, compelling Khmer to retire on his stool before the third round. The numerical dominance of Ruiz's punches, 39 landed compared to Khmer's 8, was an almost clinical exhibition of superiority, demonstrating not just power, but an uncanny ability to maintain composure, focus, and efficiency under the bright lights of high-stakes competition. The consequences for Khmer extended beyond the physical. Ruiz's performance forced his corner and promoter into public acknowledgement of the disparity in skill, highlighting how a fighter's excellence can redefine the expectations of the sport itself. Similarly, against Andy's earlier opponents, the combination of hand speed, timing, and tactical awareness ensured that even fighters with prior experience or physical advantages were often overwhelmed, creating a narrative in which Ruiz was consistently the architect of his own victories. What makes Ruiz's story so compelling is the way he challenges the conventional archetype of a heavyweight. The division has traditionally been dominated by imposing physiques with the assumption that size correlates directly with power, yet Ruiz's success undermines that narrative. His ability to combine body mass with explosive acceleration, rapid combinations, and an uncanny sense of distance allows him to dominate in a style that is both unorthodox and devastatingly effective. Watching Ruiz maneuver in the ring, observers can see the careful orchestration behind every feint, every hook, every overhand right. These aren't random acts of aggression. They are deliberate calculations meant to dismantle an opponent's defenses and capitalize on openings as they appear. In many ways, Ruiz redefines what it means to be a heavyweight, blending traditional brute force with the nuanced, often overlooked technical skills that allow a fighter to succeed consistently at the highest levels. By the time Ruiz had established himself as a champion, it became clear that his career was as much about strategy and intellect as it was about physical dominance. Every fight is an extension of his understanding of timing, leverage, and the subtle interplay between offense and defense. Opponents, regardless of their confidence or pre-fight bravado, find themselves reacting to Ruiz rather than dictating the terms of engagement. This duality, combining the raw spectacle of knockout power with the subtle sophistication of elite technique, makes Ruiz's story one of the most compelling in modern heavyweight boxing. Each fight builds upon the last, reinforcing a reputation for unpredictability and absolute effectiveness. A combination that has left fans, critics, and fellow fighters in awe in reviewing the highlights and key confrontations throughout Ruiz's early career. One cannot ignore the consistency of his dominance, whether landing explosive combinations against Francisco Diaz, systematically dismantling Kelsey Arnold, or overpowering Joe Hanks and Tor Khmer. Ruiz repeatedly proves that his hand speed, punch accuracy, and mental fortitude place him in an elite tier. His victories are never simply about landing punches. They are about creating an environment in the ring where the opponent is consistently reacting, often desperately, to his relentless aggression. Each bout adds another layer to the narrative of a fighter who, despite initial appearances, possesses the power, intelligence, and precision to control his own destiny inside the squared circle. In every case, the drama unfolds not merely in the exchanges of violence, but in the psychological chess match, the subtle shifts in momentum, and the capacity to enforce his will upon an opponent. By the end of these fights, it is clear that Ruiz is not just winning matches, he is defining a style, reshaping expectations, and leaving a trail of humbled competitors in his wake. Andy Ruiz's journey serves as a vivid testament to the truth that the heavyweight division is as much about strategy, timing, and instinct as it is about raw power. From his early knockouts to the defining victories that cemented his reputation, Ruiz demonstrated that speed, accuracy, and an understanding of the nuances of boxing could overcome preconceptions about size and fitness. His career invites a deeper appreciation of the sport, revealing how a fighter can manipulate distance, pressure, and psychological dynamics to achieve dominance. For fans of boxing, Ruiz's narrative is a masterclass in the synthesis of physicality and intellect, a showcase of how a competitor can consistently outmaneuver, outthink, and overpower even those who underestimate him. So, who do you think Andy Ruiz should face next to truly cement his legacy as one of the most dynamic heavyweights of this era? Could he continue to redefine expectations, or is there an opponent out there who can match his combination of speed, power, and ring intelligence? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into Andy Ruiz's most brutal knockouts and career-defining moments, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more in-depth boxing analyses. The saga of Ruiz is far from over, and every fight is a story waiting to be told.